All right. Hi, guys, and welcome back to Midday Matcha with Livi. Clearly, I am fucking Livi. How are we all doing today? Okay, let's get it out of the way immediately. I'm fucking exhausted. It's 10 a.m. right now. I decided to wake up at 5 in the fucking morning and do a workout class I was like, I'm gonna do a workout class. I'm gonna get my TikToks done for the day. I'm gonna get my emails done for the day before I come and record the podcast, right? It sounded like such a beautiful idea. I'm over here, I'm literally dying a little bit. So, like, this is going to be a really interesting episode because I feel like I'm high key out of it, but that's just that. Let's get into my week intro. I'm back from Tulum. We're in the studio. I'm so excited to be back in the studio. Tulum was healing. Okay, listen, and like, who the fuck says Tulum is healing? Me. I loved Tulum I didn't realize I was going to love it as much as I did. I went with Nicole. If you guys know, you know Nicole from TikTok. I mean, literally, since I've been on that trip, everyone's like, oh my God, I literally love Nicole. I can't believe you're with Nicole. I'm like, do you guys love me still? Anyways, no, but I love Nicole with my heart and soul. And that was like our first time meeting in Tulum, which is like a really ballsy thing for us to do, for me just to fly to Mexico and just hang out with Nicole for a week. But like we did. And now we have a trip Monday. I leave this Monday. I'm going to LA, which I'm really excited for LA because I have a lot that I'm doing out there. You guys are going to see me in a studio out there. I might have a little guest on the podcast if you guys can guess who it is. I'm still not going to tell you, but I do have a guest on the podcast out there. I'm excited to go to LA, but it is a 6-hour flight from New York, which is fucking long. And I'm like mentally preparing myself because I'm like, that is such a long time to be on a plane. Like, I really don't love it. But I'm ready to go to LA. Tulum was healing. Tulum was gorgeous. I don't have any like words to say about Tulum because it genuinely was like the best time ever. And I loved every single moment of it. So it's like, that's all like, I don't know. I wish I had like a crazy, amazing story for you guys, but I don't. Just know that I fucking love Tulum and like I will be in Tulum a lot in the upcoming months. Anyways, if you were like, what, if you hear me moving around a lot, mind your fucking business. Anyways, so that's it for my little week intro. We have a long episode today. I don't even know if it's really that long, but we have like a deep episode. Like I'm really going to get into it. But first let's get into why I'm making this episode. I feel like my number one DM I get from you guys is like low key, like, how are you so delusional? Like, how are you? Because I'm a delusional ass bitch. And like, I'm saying this in a positive way. I know delusional has like a lot of like negative connotations around it. No, no, no. I'm a positive delusional ass bitch. And like, I've I'm gonna get into like the backstory of like why I'm delusional. And this like all feeds into like confidence, like making the dream life that you want for yourself and things like that and like manifestation. So we're gonna deep dive not only on my delusion, but like faking it till you make it and like becoming the best version of yourself. We're gonna deep dive on all of that. And I'm excited. Love doing that when I'm like half awake, but we are going to. So yeah, my number one question is like, girly, how are you so delusional? And I'm like, okay, fuck you guys. But like, I get what you mean by like, how am I so delusional? Cause like I am delusional. Anyways, I saw a TikTok a couple years ago and I literally will never forget this. I was sitting in my bathtub in my Chicago apartment and this girl was like, I knew I wanted to be a professional dancer and I knew I wanted to dance for J-Lo. And she was like, I had no training at the time. I had nothing. And everyone was like, how are you going to make this happen? Like, how are you going to do this? And she was like, I just believed in myself. Like, I was just like, oh, like, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to do it. And then she was like, and 5 years later, I'm a professional dancer and I've danced for J-Lo. And she's like, the number one thing that got me there was being so delusional. And I was like, wait, this bitch is onto something. Because I was like, okay, all I have to be is fucking delusional. I've always been extremely confident and just like so sure of myself and like my goals and my dreams. Like I'm always like, oh no, like I'm going to do that. I'm going to accomplish that. Just because if I put my mind to it, I'm going to fucking do it. And so hearing her say that, I was like, okay, so I just have to be delusional. And she was talking about like how you have to show up as the highest version of yourself. And like you have to show up as that version of yourself to your like everyday life. So I was like, at that time, I had like 4,000 followers on TikTok. I had just started the podcast and I wanted to be living the life that I'm literally living right now, which is so fucking insane to say out loud. But like, that's the life that I wanted. And I was like, okay, so it's going to take me faking it till I fucking make it to get to my goals and dreams. And I was like, at first, like, I don't know if I want to be like delusional like that. But I was like, no, I'm going to full send this. And I know I can accomplish all my goals and dreams. And I'm going to do that. And so I feel like that was the start of like my delusional era, because it was like I can make all of this shit come true if I want to. I just have to put my fucking mind to it. So I was like, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. But also, I do want to talk about that. Like, everyone thinks you're crazy until you do it. Like, at that time when I have 4,000 followers and I'm like, I'm going to have 1,000,000 followers. I'm going to have millions of followers on social media. I'm going to have so many fucking followers. The podcast is going to be like my full-time job. I'm going to do that. And they're looking at you like, girl, wait, what? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no, like, I'm going to make these things happen. Everyone thinks you're crazy until you do it, until you actually make those dreams a reality. So, like, up until I started gaining like a lot of momentum on TikTok and like actually accomplishing my goals and dreams, everyone thought I was fucking nuts. They're like, Livy, you're delusional. You're delusional. And it's like, babes, that's what got me to where I am right now. But it took me believing in myself to really get there, because I knew it was going to happen. I knew I was going to make this happen. And I didn't give a fuck about what anybody else said. It only mattered what I thought and what I felt. And so now I sit here with 1,000,000 followers, with the podcast being a full-time job of mine and TikTok being the full-time job of mine. And I'm like, thank God I was delusional. Thank God I was fucking insane. Thank God everyone was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Because I would not be living my dream life and what I set out to live if it wasn't for that delusional ass bitch that I was. Me pointing. If you guys are watching the YouTube, I highly recommend it because I do get a little passionate. Anyways, I always knew I would be here. I always knew I was going to do whatever it takes for my goals and dreams to come true. And everyone was always like, lower your expectations. Like, that's like the number one I think I hear all the time from people that are close to me. Like, you have such insanely high expectations that are almost unachievable. And I do. No, like, I genuinely do have like insanely high expectations, not only for myself, people around me. I realize I do have to be nice to people around me. Like, they're not always going to like meet to my expectations, and like they shouldn't have to. Depending on the day, they might. Anyways, but I was like, I'm always going to have those high expectations for myself because I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm capable of accomplishing these goals that I'm setting out for myself. And you're going to hear me talk about the million this entire time through the episode, because that's what I'm going to refer back to, where I have like other goals and dreams now, but like I'm going to refer to the million because that's the one that like I'm just going to lead you to the process of like how I actually like achieve that goal and dream. But I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. And I think that's a really important thing when you're delusional. Like, you have to not give a fuck what anyone thinks, because I could have listened to everyone being like, okay, maybe lower your expectations. 1,000,000 followers is a lot of people, Livy. Like, lower your expectations. Like, don't think too highly. Like, you're just going to disappoint yourself. And it's like, no, I'm not going to just disappoint myself, because if I'm setting that goal and dream for myself, I'm going to make sure that fucking happens. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to make sure that happens. And if I did lower my expectations and I was like, let's just get to like 100K, like that's it, then that's what I would have settled at. And I would have just shown the universe, like, I'm just going to settle at that. So hearing 1,000,000 followers when you only have 4,000, I sound insane. I sound fucking crazy. But now you're sitting here and you're looking at me and I have the million. So I don't sound that fucking crazy because I made it happen. So a lot of people are going to be like, lower your expectations. Like, oh my God, like you expect so much, like all these things. And it's like, all what that matters is how you believe in yourself and how much you're willing to put in the work to accomplish those goals and dreams that you have for yourself. So I was always like watching fucking see bitches, because I'm going to make this shit happen if it's the last thing I do. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to make this happen. So I do want to get into sacrifices though, because I've had to make a lot of sacrifices to be where I am right now. And I've had to give up a lot of relationships. I've had to give up a lot of friendships. I've had to give up a lot of old habits to get to where I'm at right now, which I would say is like my like dream life. That when I look back on the girl in like 2021 who was sitting in her bathtub with 4,000 followers, watching that TikTok of that girl, like I think of that, like, this is my dream life. This is what old me wanted this entire time. And I think of all the sacrifices that I had to make to get to this point, because there was a fucking lot. So the energy that you surround yourself really matters. For a while, I was surrounding myself with people who honestly didn't want the best for me. And whether I was admitting that to myself or not, like these people didn't want the best for me. And these people had negative energy with themselves. And I surrounded myself with people who were like negative. And then they just would always bring themselves down, like the self-deprecation. Newsflash, you are 100% who you surround yourself with. I I believe that 100%. Like who you surround yourself with matters so fucking much. And like that's why I'm a psychopath about who I surround myself with, because it's those things can separate a successful person and a non-successful person. Like, because when you're around people who are negative 24/7, you're going to take on that negativity yourself, whether you realize it or not. Even now, I have friends that are super self-deprecating, and I'm like the most confident person, and I still realize myself taking on some of their traits, just because when you hear somebody else doing that so much to themselves, it's easy for you to do that to yourself as well. For example, if someone's like, I'm so fat 24/7, I'm going to be like, oh, now I'm in my head. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it rubs off on each other. So, like, I think about the time that I was surrounded with friends that had like negative energy and didn't want the best for themselves, didn't have huge goals and dreams, and like were okay with living a very simple life, which is totally fine. But for someone like me who had those huge goals and dreams, I couldn't be surrounding myself with people who thought my dreams were like out of this fucking world, that were like, okay, good luck, babe. Like when I said I wanted 1 million followers, because like now I'm like, no, I want 25 million, bitch. So I couldn't be surrounding myself with people like that. Like if you have big goals and dreams, you cannot surround yourself with people who do not have big goals and dreams either. Well, I just stuttered a little. But you can't surround yourself with people like that, because they won't understand you and they won't understand your mindset. And it's so easy to fall into the pattern of like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I am thinking like, maybe I am just like shooting for the stars. Maybe I am, maybe I want too much. No, you fucking don't. You just have a goal and a dream, and that's completely capable. But if you surround yourself with people who are telling you that it's not going to happen, guess what? You're not going to fucking make it happen. But now I surround myself with people who are like, babes, I can't wait to celebrate 10 million. Like, and it just encourages you, and it just makes you believe that anything that you, all your goals and dreams that you have, you can make them come true. For instance, I was looking at a card the other day, and I hit 100,000 in October. And my best friend's card to me, Katie, I love her with my entire heart and soul. Oh my God, like I miss that bitch so much. But her card to me was like, I'm so excited to be celebrating 100K with you. I can't wait till we celebrate 1 million so soon. And we did end up celebrating 1 million so soon. And none of us knew it was going to happen like that, but it did. And it's just like having that energy around me was so important for me, because I'm big on energy. I'm an empath, you guys. I'm a fucking empath, but I am. So other people's energy rubs off on me. And I only want people who have like the biggest goals and the biggest dreams and believe in themselves like no other around me, because then that rubs off onto me and I get that mindset as well. So you are who you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with negative and unmotivated people, guess what? You're going to be negative and unmotivated. Like it's just, that's how it works. Like you will become that. Also, if you accept the bare minimum in relationships or friendships, you are showing the universe that is what you accept. So you're showing the universe you're willing to settle as well. I feel like my biggest example of this is my ex-boyfriend. Yeah, because sorry, I'm still tired, you guys. But for instance, I think about this a lot. Last year, I found my ex-boyfriend. I was in love with him. I was head over heels in love with him. I was like, this is going to be the man I marry, because I'm that type of bitch. Like when I get in a relationship, I'm like, oh my, like I'm literally going to marry him. Like that's so fucking crazy. But like I really thought so. And last August, I found him cheating on me. I met his other girlfriend. That's never a fun thing to fucking do. And I was so devastated. I was genuinely so heartbroken. I've felt a lot of pain in my life. You guys know I've been through some fucking shit, but that was like, that had to be top 3 most painful experiences, because someone you love and you trusted so much just like betrayed the shit out of you. It was truly horrible. And the worst part about that all was that he wanted me back. He was like, I will do anything to get you back. And like, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be fucking lying if I sat here and looked at you and said, I didn't want him back. No part of me wanted him back. No, I loved that person. I loved that person with my entire heart. You know, that person I weirdly thought I was going to marry. Now I look back, I'm like, bitch, were you on crack? The fuck did you think you were going to marry him for? But I thought I was going to marry that person. And I so badly wanted to take him back after the cheating, after all that, but I couldn't. And the reason I couldn't was because I had so much self love for myself that I knew if I took him back, those 6 years prior to meeting him, 6 years that I dedicated to so much self love, self growth, and like just becoming the best version of myself, because that's what I strive to be at all times is like the best version of myself. I knew if I had taken him back, I was throwing that all out the fucking window. Literally all of that out the window. And I knew if I took him back, I was showing the universe that I was willing to settle, that I was okay with being treated like shit, that I was okay with the bare minimum. And guess what? If I showed the universe I was okay with the bare fucking minimum, that's exactly what they're going to give me. And I knew that I had to choose myself over him. And that was like the biggest act of self love, I think, ever. I think that's what really put my self love that I worked 6 fucking years. I was not in a relationship for 6 years. And I just focused on loving myself and I focused on my goals and my dreams. That was like the biggest test of like, does this bitch really love herself? Because saying no to somebody that you loved so much because of how they treated you, because you value your self-love and your self-worth more than anything, just shows like that for me, that showed the universe that I wasn't willing to accept the bare minimum in life and I wasn't willing to accept the bare minimum in relationships. But I feel like if I took him back, I would not be as successful as I am today. Like there would have just been no room for this success to come in whatsoever because I would have been holding on to negative and bad energy. And I'm such a believer when you have negative and bad energy in your life, there is no room for good energy. There is no room for any of that. You have to let that negative energy go for the good energy to come in and the amazing things to come in. And I know right now, I'm telling you, I would have not experienced this success that I have right now and the success that I wanted if I had kept him in my life. There would have been no room for that. And as much as I wanted to, and as much as I wanted to stay in that relationship, I knew choosing him, I was giving up my self-love 100%. Because listen, also, I have a fucking brand. My brand is like, fuck these men, be the bad bitch that you are, which I am. But how am I going to sit here and talk to you guys every week about loving yourself, being the best version of yourself and like choosing yourself and what like doing amazing things for yourself when I wasn't doing that for myself? And taking him back would have been that for me. So yeah, I was not willing to show the universe that I wanted to settle. And I do believe that was like the biggest form of self-love for me was choosing myself and being like, no, fuck him. I love this person. Yeah. And I thought I was going to be with this person forever. You know what? But I choose me because I put too much fucking work and too much time healing myself, healing past traumas, healing my inner child, healing all these things to go backwards. So it was 100% the biggest act of self-love was choosing myself and leaving that whack-ass motherfucker. And I know if I didn't leave that whack-ass motherfucker, we would not be here right now. I would not be in this gorgeous studio. I would not have the success that I have been experiencing in my life currently if I had him in my life. Absolutely not. And I think it chose me. I think it was me choosing myself and my self-love and valuing my goals and dreams and my energy above all else that got me to where I am right now. That's weird. Why does that make me a little bit emotional? But it does. So that's what I mean by showing the universe that you accept the bare minimum. Like I could have went back. I could have been the dumbest little bitch in the book and been like, I love my mans. He's never going to do it again. You know what I mean? I could have done that, but that would have just showed the universe that I'm okay with the bare minimum. So you're going to give me a bare minimum life too. Like all those goals and dreams that I have, give me the bare minimum of all of that. Like, no, I didn't want that for myself. I've always wanted more for myself. And I don't think you can sit there and say you love yourself, but then be treated like the bare fucking minimum. Then you don't love yourself because I will never in my life let myself be treated like the bare fucking minimum. And I think it's important, those actions and those choices, you're showing the universe, but you're also showing yourself like what you deserve. So me choosing myself in that situation, I was like, no, this is what I fucking deserve. I worked way too hard to get the bare minimum. I don't want that kind of life. I don't want that for myself. So I did have to make a lot of sacrifices. I had to give up a lot of friendships too. Friendships that weren't serving me in the sense that like they were very negative in both aspects. You know what? That could have been from me, that could have been from them. Regardless, our energies together were negative fucking energies. I didn't want negative energy in my life. I didn't want people who were like, your goals and dreams are too big, like it's too much. I didn't want those people in my life. And I didn't need those people in my life because I knew I was going to make this happen for me no matter fucking what. And if you don't believe it, there's the door, bitch. Like, get out. I don't care. Like, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm going to do it. So, yeah, I only want to be surrounded by people who love themselves. I only want to be surrounded by people who are positive and also have huge goals and dreams. Like, I think I'm going to refer to Katie a lot in this episode because Katie also has huge goals and dreams. And like a year ago when I was a server and we were serving together, and like a year and a half ago when I was a server and we were serving together, and I was like sitting against the wall and I was like, I'm going to have millions of followers one day. And I'm like, I'm going to have millions and millions. And she was like, you're going to have more than millions. You're going to have tens of millions. Like, that's the kind of energy that you want to surround yourself with. And the thing is, too, that's a big statement to be like, I only want to surround myself with people who love themselves. I had to help a lot of my friends learn to love themselves. Katie is going to kill me because I keep talking about her. But Katie being like the number one, I had to help her love herself. Like when I first met her, sorry, Katie, I'm literally airing out all your dirty laundry. She was so self-deprecating and so like just Katie's never had a negative energy, but she was so like, I don't love myself. Like, I just don't love myself. And I took it upon myself to help her love herself because I saw how much she was capable of. And I knew she deserved to have a loving life of like self-love, self-worth, and have amazing people in her life too. When I met her, she was in a shitty fucking relationship and did not love herself. And I put in the work with her to like help her love herself. So it's like, I was never gonna look at her and be like, oh, like you don't love yourself. Like, get the fuck out of my face. No, like I'll help you get to where you need to get to if you're willing to put in the work. You know what I mean? But like she is probably the number one person around me that amazes me every day. Cause I remember the Katie that like did not love herself. I'm gonna cry, but like didn't love herself, was in like a horrible fucking relationship. And she put in the work to like love herself. That girl is like, if you ask her now, she's like, no, I fucking love myself. I'm amazing. I'm the most gorgeous, amazing person in the world. And it just shows it's like, if you're willing to put in the work, you can become the best version of yourself and you can love yourself, even though it feels impossible. And you can get out of these like horrible and terrible fucking relationships. Like you can do all of that. Cause like, not only have I done it, I've seen my best friend do it. I've seen so many fucking people do it. You just have to believe in yourself enough to do it. But I do love having her energy around me because she's always like, yeah, no, like I'm going to do these amazing things too. And I'm like, yeah, the fuck you are, bitch. Like, I love being surrounded by people who are like, even Tim is like that too. He's like, no, like I'm going to do all these amazing fucking things. I would say everybody in my inner circle is very much like, I'm going to do these amazing fucking things because I can and because I want to. Like, yeah, they're huge goals and dreams. And might sound fucking crazy right now, but talk to me in 5 years. Talk to me in 5 years when I've accomplished all this shit. And so that's the energy that I like to have around me because the energy that I do have around me and the people I have around me are a reflection of me. And our energy feeds off of each other. And I'm a sensitive ass bitch to energy. And I just want the best energy around me. Take a shot every time I say energy, but yes. The people I surround myself with affect my energy 100%. And that's why I do have such a small circle because I'm not just going to put, any motherfucker in here. No, like I want people with great energy who love themselves, who are working on becoming the best version of themselves, who inspire me to become the best version of myself too. That is who the fuck I surround my energy with. So yeah, there's a lot of sacrifices. I had to get rid of a lot of friendships to have the friendships that I have with me currently. Like I had to give up a lot of friendships. A lot of sacrifices had to be made to be where I'm at right now. I also talked about old habits. Like for me personally, I can't go out and like drink anymore like I used to and like go party till like 4 a.m. I'm running a business. The joke with all of my friends is, and it's really not a joke at all, but like I'm always like, they're like, get fucked up with us. And I'm like, babes, I'm running a business. Someone's got to run a business. You know, like one of us has to be running the business, okay? Because like they'll be like, come on, Livy, drink more. And I'm like, I'm running a business. I cannot just be out here drinking till 4 a.m. Because like for me, I'm not going to be the best version of myself. Like I have to show up every day, not even the best version of myself, but like I don't like showing up hungover to work. Like if I have a day's full of work, say I have to like I could not imagine doing this right now hungover. Absolutely fucking not. I'd be like, like I would just, like I just wouldn't be good at it whatsoever. And the anxiety would be so unreal. So it's really important for me to like give up those old habits of like drinking and maybe not taking care of myself to the best of my ability because I'm running a business now. I'm running a brand. I'm doing the damn fucking thing. So, for instance, I definitely had to give up like that party lifestyle, which I'm not mad about. Like I actually really don't like to party that much, so like I'm fine with that. But the reason I felt like I had to give that up was because I couldn't do it anymore. I felt like it was taking a lot of my energy and like a lot of my time, and that time could be put into so many more things. Like that could be me launching something brand fucking new. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to ever feel so hungover that I can't get my day's work done. And like, does that mean sacrificing my 20s? A little bit. A little bit, but honestly, it depends. I always think it's like it depends how you look at it. Cause like all my friends are like, have some fucking fun once in a while. And I'm like, do you want to know what's fun to me? Coming in here, recording the goddamn podcast and seeing those numbers spike like no other. That's what's fun to me. I'm over the like going out drinking, getting blackout drunk. I just feel like that's not me anymore. And that's not how I'm going to grow this brand and this business to the best of its ability and achieve those goals and dreams that I have for myself. I had to give up a lot of those things, which I'm not like, oh my God, like poor me, like I can't get fucked up anymore. No, like I'm fine with that because I'm willing to make those sacrifices for my goals and dreams to come true. So, yes. But also, I do want to emphasize, I think I say this like almost every episode, when you cut out the bad and negative energy, like the toxic friendships, the toxic relationships, the toxic habits that you're with, the universe is going to bring in so much good fucking stuff for you. Like, I think about how quickly I hit the million after I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. And I literally knew, like I felt it in my bones because I'm a psychic ass bitch. But I was like, I know if I keep him in my life, I am not going to accomplish these goals and dreams that I have for myself. I just know it. Like he is the barrier in between me and my future self. Like me and me, like this version of me, like old version of me who had like the 70,000 followers on TikTok to like this version of me right now who's like accomplishing those goals and dreams and is in studio with you right now. I was like, he's the barrier in between those. Like I have to let him go fully to get to my goals and dreams because he was such bad and negative energy and he treated me like the bare fucking minimum. So I was like, I have to stop showing the universe that I'm okay with the bare fucking minimum. He's got to go. So you have to be willing to let go of the bad to experience the good. God, I'm like a Pinterest board today. Really am like a motivational ass bitch. Sorry. Side note, Livi realizes she's motivational. Anyways, let's talk about faking it till you make it. Listen, there is no giving up, okay? That's one thing about your goals and dreams. Never fucking give up. I didn't care if it took me 10 years to reach a million. Like I said, we're talking the million the entire episode because that was like a big goal and dream. And like, I don't want to tell you guys my new goals and dreams because like, I'll tell you those when I reach them. That was so disgusting. I never want to do that phase again. Anyways, back in 2021, when I started TikTok, I knew I wanted that million. I was like, I want that fucking million. So yes, that meant a dedicated posting schedule. And that also meant putting in the fucking work to get to the million. Like that was very important too. But it also meant I had to fake it till I made it. So it like when I was rocking that 70K followers, I had to act like I already had the million. Like I already had that. That's what I mean by showing up as the highest version of yourself. Like you have to show up as the version of yourself that's already accomplished those goals and dreams. Like how the fuck would that person walk through that door? So I was showing up as the Livi that had the million followers. How was she going to act? How was she going to post? What was she going to do? Like, so yeah, I took the hard work to doing that, but also showing up as myself. So like, that's where like the faking it till you make it and the delusion comes into play at the same time, where it's like, I had to show up as the best version of myself and show up as like what I thought the million Livi would act like and what she would do. So, but that also meant I had to be uncomfortable. There was a lot of discomfort. Like, and I'm not saying like, poor me, like, poor me. No. But there was like a lot of discomfort in the sense like I had 70,000 followers and I was posting 3 to 5 times a day and maybe getting 100 to 300 views. Like, no, like, my TikTok was not pushing my shit out whatsoever. And it would have been so easy for me to give up in that moment. It would have been so fucking easy to just be like, okay, like maybe this isn't for me. But I knew that I wanted that million more than anything. I knew when I started that at 4,000 followers that I wanted that million. I knew at 70,000 followers when I had 100 to 300 views, I wanted that fucking million and I was going to do whatever it took. And it was like, guys, I think it was almost like a year of like 100 to 300 views of video posting 3 to 5 times a day. Like, I could have gave up. I could have been like, Livy, maybe TikTok is not your fucking thing. But I knew I wanted that fucking million. And I knew I was going to do whatever it took to get that. So I wasn't always comfortable. It is a very uncomfortable thing doing social media, like starting off social media and like nobody's watching your shit and you're just like, ah, like I just have to, that's what I mean by faking it till you make it. Like you just have to fake that shit until you get there. Like I literally faked it till I made it. That's how it was. Like I was like, yeah, maybe 100 people are viewing my stuff and maybe I have 10 likes, but those 10 people liked it. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing your posting schedule. We're going to keep going because that million, it's closer than we think, babes. And like, little did I know it was a lot closer than I thought, but there's a lot of discomfort when it comes to your goals and dreams and things that you're going to have to sit with. And it's not going to be fun. Like I have friends now that are getting into social media that are like, it's just so embarrassing that I don't get these. I'm like, not everybody wakes up and is getting millions of views every single day. I'm also like, nobody saw the back end of things for me where it was like, that was like 2 years, 2 to 3 years. I'm not good at math, but like 2 to 3 years where I was like posting and not a lot of people were viewing my shit. Like, yeah, I had 70K, but it almost felt like I had nothing because nobody was watching that. Like nobody was really seeing anything. And it's not gonna just happen overnight. And if it does, congratulations, because like my million does feel like it happened overnight, but that still was like a 6 month period. But also that was 3 months, I mean 2 to 3 years going into it before I hit the million. So there was so much discomfort. And like not everyone yeah, like I said, not everyone saw the back end of things and like how much work I was really putting into that. For a lot of people, it probably looked like I just woke up and like hit the million. And it's like, no, 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 babes. There was a lot of fucking work. And I actually, this is so random and weird, but a lot of men I talk to who like have known me for like years, have been like following me on Instagram since I had like 3,000 followers and like I was a little slut. They're like, it has been so cool to see your growth because it's like, you just like never stopped. And I was like, yeah, that's like the one thing. It's like, I never fucking stopped. I was always like, no, we're gonna make this shit happen if it's the last thing I fucking do. So that was really, yeah, I had to bear through those uncomfortable moments, not even just like the views thing, because like that's just fucking life, but also people being like, TikTok's embarrassing. Like, this is so fucking embarrassing that you do that you do this. Those same people were the first to congratulate me on that million. So, like, those people that are like, oh my God, like, it's so fucking embarrassing that, like, you're, like, posting on TikTok and, like, you're doing all those things. And I was probably sent to group chats. I probably fucking was. Like, everyone's fear of, like, everyone from high school seeing them. Sure, I'm sure everyone from high school was like, oh my God, Livy, really? Or whatever. But those are the same people that are in my DMs currently congratulating me on all my successes and all my millions. Not all my millions, but on the but like on a million. So it's like those same people that doubted you will be the first ones to congratulate you once those goals and dreams come true. But you just have to push past that uncomfortableness. Is that a word? That uncomfortability and like people's doubts and stuff like that. Because honestly, there could have been so many times when I gave up, low views, people like making fun of me and shit like that, but I didn't. And now I'm living my dream life. And now I'm living what I've always wanted. So like, you got to push past that. Like, so that's what I mean, faking it till you make it too. It's like, you're going to hear a lot of shit and people are going to say a lot of things to you, but you got to keep fucking going. And you have to just look at them and be like, I don't really give a fuck. Because when I achieve those goals and dreams, you'll be the first one saying congratulations. So get the fuck out of my face. That's kind of how I always dealt with that, was like, I don't care. I see the bigger picture. I know what my goals and dreams are. And I know what I want. And I'm not going to stop until I achieve that. And I didn't. I really didn't. And I'm not stopping anytime soon. But yes. Even till this day, people are like, think smaller, or like do this, do that. And I won't ever do that. And like, it's important to me too, now that I have a team around me, that like my team doesn't think like that either. Like if I say something to my team where I'm like, I want to do this, this, and that, they're like, okay, yeah. They're never going to be like, maybe not. Because like, I'm not going to have a team around me that does that. Absolutely fucking not. I have a great team around me right now and I do love them. So I will always I will always have like the biggest goals and dreams. Like I see the bigger picture of my life. I know what I want to accomplish in this world, and I'm not going to settle until I do it. And that's just that. But like I refuse to have a limit on my goals and dreams. Like I refuse to think small. I will never do that. And it's so easy because so many people are like, babes, is that really realistic? And it's like, why don't you fuck off? Because I'm going to make it happen. So all you have to do is sit back and watch. Like, I don't care. I'm going to make that shit happen. So yeah, no, it is funny, like, how the tables turn when it's like people being like, those are huge goals and dreams. And then you accomplish it and they're like, wait, like, how'd you do that? Like, how did you do that? It's like, babes, get the fuck out of my face with that. Like, really? But yeah, now I do want to talk about manifesting and daily affirmations. I'm really big into manifesting, but more importantly, daily affirmations. Daily affirmations is exactly what it sounds like. It's you repeat it to yourself 3 times. So the way I do this is like I have different daily affirmations each month. So the beginning of each month, I'll write out my manifestations and then I'll take those manifestations and make them into a daily affirmation. Okay, perfect example. It sounds like I'm bragging. I'm like, the million. No, but my biggest daily affirmation for 2 years, every month, I like, because they'll change monthly, but this one stayed, was I have over 1 million TikTok followers. So I said that 3 times a day, or like you just repeat it 3 times. It's like, I have 1 million followers, I have 1 million followers, I have 1 million followers. Next affirmation. I said that for 2 years. The reason daily affirmations are so powerful to me and in general is because one, I wrote it out. So that's like there's like a statistic where it's like you're like 45% more likely to accomplish something if you write it out, apparently. I don't fucking know. I think that's what the statistic is. But also when you say those things, you believe those things. And once you believe those things, you become those things. So me being like, I have over 1 million TikTok followers, saying that for 2 years, I'm believing that, and then I become it. So what you believe is what you become. So if you want to choose to believe all the negative things, you'll become the negative things. But if you want to choose to believe all the positive, amazing things, you'll become all the positive, amazing things. So I love a daily affirmation. I had that on my daily affirmation list for so fucking long. But like the energy you put into the universe is exactly what you get back. Like I am so big on that. What you say you will become. I also like doing manifestations. For me, that's just like talking about my goals. Like, yeah, like I just like talking about them. I like writing them down, like my goals and my dreams. I have like a whole vision board. Like for instance, my vision board's on the background of my phone right now. Majority of this I have already accomplished, like on my vision board. So I'm big on those. And then just showing up as the most confident version of yourself, which includes being delusional, faking it till you make it, but those things as well. But honestly, like here's an example of showing up as the most confident version of myself right now. Because I had a friend this week and asked me, she's like, I'm so scared. I'm teaching a class. Like, what do I do? I go, show up as the most confident version of yourself. And she's like, what? I could give you a full ass speech, a 45-minute speech. I'm so confident on tectonic plates right now. I don't know a single fucking thing about tectonic plates whatsoever. Not a goddamn thing. But if I showed up and I was confident and I just believed what I was saying, guess what? Everyone else is going to believe it too. Because you have to just show up as the most confident version of yourself and people are going to believe that. For instance, like in high school, I did like a weird little presentation about a cactus, like whatever. I had like it was my senior year of high school. I'll never forget this. I did no research on a fucking cactus, but I had to give the presentation regardless. So I went in there and I was like, I sold it. I was like, I literally was like, cactuses have feelings. They have emotions. Once they die, I made all of this shit up. I swear to God, you would have thought like, I was gonna, like, everyone was like, go Livi, like, go, that was amazing. I lied my ass off, but I was so confident that nobody was going to question anything. Also, who the fuck really knew about cactuses to begin with? And I remember one of my friends in the class was like, you literally made all that up. And I was like, yeah, I made every single part of that up. And she was like, but we all believed it. I was like, yeah, because why wouldn't you? I was confident. Why the fuck would you not believe it? So it's literally, even my teacher was like, that I got an A on that assignment. You guys, I lied the whole fucking way through. You got to show up as the most confident version of yourself. You got to be a little bit delusional and you got to fake it till you make it a little bit. I swear to God. I also want to touch on not tolerating the bullshit. I think I've touched on it a lot. How many times can I say I want to touch on something? Not tolerating the BS. The visual, the YouTube girl you saw that I've been hiding my water bottle with me. I have an emotional attachment to it, whatever. I will never let someone tell me a dream is too big. And I will never take no for an answer, ever. And what I mean by that is if I want something bad enough, I will 100% make sure that shit happens. 100%. Nothing will ever get in the way of my goals and dreams. Like, I know the life I want to live, and I am not going to settle until I achieve it. I'm just not. And nothing will get in the way of that. And that does mean huge sacrifices, like friendships, relationships, kind of giving up like partying in my 20s, which, oh my God, so sad. I'm fine. But like, am willing to make those sacrifices for my goals and my dreams. And yeah, like not only people, but yeah. Okay, wait, I must have been fucking high when I wrote this because that didn't make sense. But yeah, you do have to give up the sacrifices, and I'm never gonna take no for an answer. Like I genuinely never take no for an answer. Like if I want something bad enough, I'm gonna make sure that fucking happens. And that's just like the mindset that I have, and that's just like the person that I am. I'm 125% always gonna make that shit happen. And it does mean like sacrifices, like giving up that. And I do work every single day. Like I am working every single day, but I love it so much that it doesn't feel like work always. And I get to live an amazing fucking life. You know, like I get to travel. I get to work from home. I get to have this like gorgeous life. I get to come in here and record a podcast for you guys. I get to live my dream. So yeah, those sacrifices don't feel that fucking deep when I get to do things like this and I'm living my dream. So those are like completely worth it to me. To give up so I can live this life that I've always wanted to live. Because making those sacrifices will lead me to my future goals and dreams. And also, like, no dream is ever too big. And I'll never accept anyone being like, oh my God, that's like such an absurd dream that you want to do that. Because I'm like, I know what I'm capable of. And I know when I put my mind to whatever I want, I'm going to make sure that fucking happens. I don't care what anybody else thinks at all. I just don't. Because if I want it, I'm going to make it happen. And that's that. So, like, yes, there's sacrifices. Yes, you got to be a little bit delusional. Yes, you got to fake it till you fucking make it. But guess what? You're going to make it. As long as you believe in yourself, you're going to do it. So, that is my delusion episode. I need to look cute for a thumbnail. So, we're just going to do that real quick. Okay, anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. I'm going to leave that in for the YouTube girlies only. But thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. I love every single one of you. I'm so beyond grateful for you guys. I hope you liked this episode. I feel like I did ramble a lot, but I always fucking ramble. Like, honestly, give me a microphone. I could talk for an hour and a fucking half because that's just who I am. Okay, where did that accent come from? Anyways, I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm excited for. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, I love every single one of you. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're following me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, TikTok and Instagram specifically, if you want those daily fucking updates of my life. I like posting screenshots of my mom and my life and like what's happening. But yeah, make sure you're following me on there. Oh, guys, rate the podcast 5 stars, write a review, show some love because why not? Anyways, love you guys so much. Have a great day, night, evening, whenever the fuck you're listening to this. And just know if you have any goals and dreams and people are telling you they're too big, tell them to fuck off, eat a dick, and do what you want to do. Okay, I love you. Bye. What a great episode. I just start clapping for myself.